bodybuilder, what's up, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. We're going to be importing our parts that we have created in SolidWorks and get them ready for 3D printing. So if you've made it up to this point, we have started with an idea, then we sketched it out on paper, then we created a mock-up or a pre-prototype, and then we installed and set up SolidWorks, and we transferred all our dimensions of our toy invention in there, and now we're going to import them right here in Cura. So let's get started. So load up Ultimaker Cura. If you use the center mouse button or the scroll button, you can zoom in and out. If you hold down the left button, you can change the view or drag it. So first we're going to import one of our STL files that we had saved, or one of our parts. I'm going to drop in the left side for now. So if you click on the object, usually if there's only one thing going in there, it will center it for you. If you click on it on the left hand side, you can see this has come up. This here shows you where it is on the grid or on the heated bed. If I change the numbers, you can see the object will move. This is in the plus. If I was to add negative and then put the number after it, like let's just say minus 20, it'll move the other way. Or you can just grab the arrows that you can see there, the X, Y and Z, the blue, green and red ones. Click on the left mouse button and hold it and lift it up, or move it left or right. So this third one here, you can actually manipulate the object and turn it, as you can see there. So same thing, just click on it and hold it and move it around to your desired angle. You can use this to change the camera, so you've got front view, top view, and then you've got the left and then the right sides. I'm going to click on the top view, and you can see I can move it. If you click off the object, it removes that panel. So now I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to go to the second one. The second one is the scale, or the size, the height, width and all that. You can, if you want to double this, just leave the settings as they are. Now I'm going to double it in size, make it 200, and it will move accordingly. If you untick that, it will only obviously increase the Z height, and it will leave everything else the same. If you want to change the nozzle diameter or the material, you can go here. I'm printing in PLA at the moment. So go in there to change the nozzle diameter. I'm not going to change it because this is what I'm going to be printing in 1.0. You can see down in the right hand corner, we're going to click on slice. You can actually set this up to do it automatically. And as you can see here, it gives you how long, what the weight is and everything else, or how many meters you're going to use. So we're going to go to the settings, go down to configure, and we go to the general tab, and we can change it there. As you can see there, do it automatically. We can also change a few other settings, like the currency. This is set to euro. I'm going to set it to the $sign. I'm going to click on this one here. This one here, we can actually select what material we're using, and also we can add in the cost per roll. So if you've got a 1 kg roll, which is somewhere around 330 meters, we can type in what we've paid, and I always put in what it costs to ship as well, so I put in the total amount. So there I put in 1000 grams, so that's 1 kg. and up there I'm going to put in the amount of what the roll cost me. Reason why this is done, let's just say if you're running a small business and you want to know the cost of each part that you are creating, this will give you a fair idea. So it just divides it up. Once you hit the X on the window there, it will pop up on the bottom right hand corner right there. So there's the cost of the part. So here I'm going to click on this, and this will bring a drop down where we can do all the settings here. The quality, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Then we've got the walls, I'm going to leave them the same as well. I'm going to change the infill to 5%. If you were to make this 100%, this object would be one solid piece. If you make it 5%, it'll make it really, really light. That is the difference, and that's what it is. Next is material. I'm going to keep the hot end at 200 degrees, but the bed is going to be changed to 0 for me because my heated bed is actually independent from the printer. You will just leave this as it is, unless you have an individual heated bed that is not connected to the software or to the actual console of the printer. Now the print speed, I'm going to change that to 100. Next is travel, I'm going to leave that as it is. Cooling, going to leave that as it is. Supports, it doesn't need any as it is a flat object. Build plate adhesion, I will give you a demonstration on what this means. If you click on this here, this will show you what it will look like when it's being printed. It's more a demo. So if I zoom in on that, you can see there it has a skirt, which is a total waste of time printing. To be honest, because I've been doing this for so long, I usually either select brim or I turn it off, or have nothing at all. So if you have it on brim, this will help the actual part stick to your build plate a lot better. It will have more grip or more space to hold on to. So you can turn it off here and you can just print the actual part. But there's a downfall to this: if your bed isn't level, your part's not going to stick and it will just come off. So keep that in mind. Worst case scenario, one of the corners will lift and then your print will be ruined. So this setting here on the right hand side will show you how each layer is printed. You can only see this in preview mode. The one down the bottom here, if you push the play button, it will show you how or which direction the nozzle will print. If you grab the slider with your mouse and drag it over, you can fast forward it. As you can see there, you can see how it builds the first layer. So this here monitor, this monitors the printer in real time. So if you connect to your printer using a USB device or Wi-Fi, you'll be able to adjust the settings here. There are different methods in order to save your part to be printed. You can use the USB method, which is what I use, or Wi-Fi. I use Octoprint, or you can insert a micro USB card and save it to that and insert it into your machine. Like I was saying, there's different ways of doing this. I usually use the SD card method, and the reason why is because if I'm connected through Wi-Fi and something happens, my printer will stop, or if someone pulls out the USB cord, the printer will stop. So I use that method. So I'm going to import another object or another part or the opposite side. So we can manipulate this by clicking on it and going to the first part and moving it around. I'm going to flip it over. This is just to demonstrate on how this works. It's pretty straightforward. As you drop it down to the build plate, it will reslice it for you. I'm going to head over to the settings as there is a tab missing, and that tab is called special modes. You need to go to settings and scroll all the way down the bottom, and you need to hit the tick button in order to add it to the menu. There it is there. You need to hit the tick button and then hit the X button on the window and it will automatically save it. If we scroll down, and there is the special modes feature. So if we click on that, reason why I want to add this is because I want to print these one at a time, not all at once, because if you select all at once it will go backwards and forwards. I will show you this in the preview. As you can see here, I push play, it'll do that layer there, and then it'll jump over to the other side, and then it'll jump back to the first one, and this causes webbing and it's really annoying and it's a lot of mess to clean up. So if you print one at a time, you're good to go. But on also saying that, you need to adjust the gantry height. A lot of you don't know what that is. So the gantry will print one object, and if it doesn't lift up high enough, it will knock over the other one. So keep that in mind. And we can adjust this by going to the settings. I'm going to go back to the prepare mode, and you need to space these. As you can see, the shadow, you need to divide these and make sure they are not touching, otherwise it won't print. It should look like that. So if you have multiples of parts on that bed, it must look like that. So I have selected one at a time here, and as you can see, it's still come up with the error message. So we're going to go into the settings again and change it. Now we need to go into the printer settings or manage printers and go to machine settings, and then we need to go to the right hand side to where it says gantry height and change it. I'm going to change mine to 150, so this gives it plenty of height. As you can see here, you can see the gantry around the out edges there. It jumped up after we typed it in. If I go down to print one at a time, it'll come up with the error message again. Just ignore it because we know we've changed it. That's it for this guide. This was a basic setup to get you up and running. It wasn't an in-depth guide on every setting. There are so many different ways to set up your printer, and with Cura, I mean, there's literally hundreds. I mean, obviously there's so many different printers out there. There's different methods, different ways. This is just how I set up my way of doing things, because it's simple, it's quick, and it's easy, and it just gets you up and running. If you learned something today, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Chat.